Hello?
Hey, Victor. Yeah, the old spook. How's it hanging?
Who is this?
It's, Maury Wong? MW, your agent?
I have an agent.
Oh, funny guy. Hey, listen, about that HorrorCon gig in Montreal?
Oh, don't tell me.
Well, anyways, they decided to go with somebody else.
Who?
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm
Victor,
McDowell.
don't be like that. They just wanted an actor with a bit more marquee value.
Marquee value? I've done more horror
I
films.
know, but how many lately? Listen, as they say, when one door closes, another one opens.
You've got me a film.
Well, not quite. But it's a quick $1,000 though.
Another video store opening.
Video store? Victor, we're in the 21st century, you know. No, I got you a gig and an appearance at one of your old horror movie locations. What was it? House of Burning Evil something.
The house where evil was born.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. You'll be part of a podcast for the 25th anniversary of that movie.
A podcast?
It'll be great. You'll love it. Listen, you've got to go out and try new things. Get your name back out there.
I've done
yeah, okay, I'll email you the details later.
Dane, for God's sake, I've done
Come on, it's money in the bank.
You want me to
TTYL.
do a podcast?
Ciao.
Don't hang up the phone. Marlowe House.
Once you grow up a bit, you could get your license.
Yeah. Maybe when you grow up, you can get your own car, so we don't always have to borrow your mom's.
Okay. Where to?
Hang a right here. Into the parlor, I guess. The old man said the fuse box was in the utility room just off it. Oh. Watch yourself. You could trip and break your neck. Then we'd be screwed.
Do I detect genuine concern in your voice?
Sure. Somebody's got to run the sound. Holy shit. This is it. It's just like it was in the film.
Where do you want me to put this stuff?
Oh, you can just put that wherever. I think we're going to keep the majority of the action in here tonight. Marlowe House. She's a beauty.
She? That's right, folks. Bury the Nighthawk birds in love with a bungalow.
And think about it, Rick. We're the first people to set foot in this place in years. This is where they shot it. The greatest horror film of all time. The House Where Evil Was Born. My favorite movie. I mean, this is my mecca, Ray. This place, it's like...
Oh, shit.
Huh? What?
Yeah, I left a cable in the car.
Oh.
I'll be right back. Oh, and if no one's been in here for years, how do you explain the candle? Ooh.
The candle, huh? All right. That is pretty odd. Yeah, that old man's got a strange sense of humor. Oh, Jesus.
Relax, dude. It's a movie.
It's this place. It's effective. This is going to be great.
Yeah, well, we'll actually be able to record it now. It's too bad we couldn't go live.
There's no broadband here. Anything else would be too expensive. This is already costing me money. Thanks for coming, Mike. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, no problem. It's going to be a cool show.
Cool is an understatement. Getting the greatest horror actor of all time reunited with the 1987 Pet of the Year right here where they shot their most notorious film. I mean, stuff like this, Rick, it's why I got into broadcasting.
Dude, it's a podcast.
Hey, a few thousand listeners is nothing to sneeze at.
Okay, freaks and greasy 30-year-olds living in their parents' basement is nothing to snort at.
I listen to podcasts, thanks. Anyway, you know it's amazing to be here.
Yeah, and that Victor Brimstone, he's such a ham. He's a total has-been.
He's due for a comeback. You just wait and see.
Yeah. Hey, where's Morticia?
Amber is out patrolling the grounds. Just trying to see if she can pick up anything.
The only thing she wants to pick up tonight is you.
Huh?
Nothing. Hey, Barry. I have to go back to the car. I'll be right back. Can you get some power on in here?
Sure. The utility room should be just this way.
Ah, there you are.
Here I am, the bringer of light. So, what do you think of the place?
There's a real heaviness about this house. What happened here?
Well, you're the sensitive. You tell me.
Murder.
That's an easy guess.
There was nothing easy about this death.
Getting a little better now.
Come on, Barry. You know damn well I'm the best psychic in the state. Do your stupid show for free, anyway.
Oh, of course I know that, Amber. The thing is, the listeners, they are going to be skeptical at first.
Not to mention your tech.
Rick? I wouldn't be so sure about that. She's tough, but I think she's a believer. In fact, not I think. I think she's so scared of ghosts that she puts on that tough girl persona to try to shield herself from the supernatural world around her. But me, I see right through it. The only thing I wonder is, what happened to her? What could have scared her so much that she decided to bury her?
Well, tell you what, I think we're gonna go through hell and back before this night's over.
I hope so. That's great programming.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh yeah, I believed ever since I was a kid. I just want to see one, you know?
Are you sure about that?
If it's a ghost you want to see, look no further.
Vera Sunset. Oh, wow. It's such a pleasure to have you here. And you're just as beautiful as you were 25 years ago.
Get those stars out of your eyes, kid. I'm old enough to be your mother. And Beauty hasn't lived in these parts for years. You're the ringleader in this circus?
Yeah, Barry Bird, the Nighthawk. Internet radio.
Internet radio. Terrific.
You know, I've seen just about every one of your films. The studio ones.
I'm not ashamed of how I paid my bills, Barry. Never had a husband stick around long enough to take care of me. Is Victor here yet?
No, not yet. We're expecting him around 6:30.
Figures. He was never one for coming home on time. Well, while we're talking about money, where's my check? And where's the bar?
Yeah, let's take care of that. I'll take your luggage, and we'll find a room for you to get settled in. I think the bedrooms are this way.
I know where they are. How could I ever forget this place? Christ, why'd I ever agree to come back here?
There you are. Why would you say such terrible things? Who are you?
Made contact with Casper yet? Hey, I didn't mean to scare you.
You didn't.
Well, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I didn't see anything.
Good. Save it for the show.
Why don't you like me?
Who said I didn't like you? I just think you're freaky.
You're just afraid of things you don't understand.
I understand mics and cables and boards. Tech's my thing. Talk.
Huh?
Sound check. Say something.
Okay. Hello?
Keep going. I need to get a level.
Okay. My name is Amber Montague. I'm single. Closer to 40 than I'd like to be. I have a cat. I went to school in the big city where I still live. But in my heart, I'm still just a simple country girl from upstate Connecticut. Oh, and I talk to dead people. I don't own a sitar. I like country music. Oh, please, don't tell anyone that. It clashes with the whole medium thing. Not a fan of incense either.
Ever spoken to any famous dead people?
Elvis?
No shit.
Totally shitting you.
Huh. All right. Hey, if you can see things, tell me something about me that no one else could know.
You have a crush on Barry Bird.
Why would you say that?
I was just playing.
How did you know? About the boy?
The boy? You mean Barry? Oh, it's pretty obvious.
Sound check is over. Break.
What did you say?
How's everything working out for you in here?
Keep it together.
I didn't mean to frighten you, miss. I'm Hatcher, the caretaker.
Mr. Hatcher, I didn't hear you come in. You must have a light footstep.
So the missus tells me, told me as it were. She's been dead for about 4 years now. Miserable woman.
So sorry.
Don't be. I'm not. Yeah, I don't get in here much these days.
Not a fairly consistent caretaker then, are you, Mr. Hatcher?
Oh, I look after the grounds. What goes on inside these walls, well, that's not much of my business.
What did happen here?
All sorts of things. If you care to listen to talk from people back in town. What do they know? They won't even come near the place. Myself, I'm not quite sure what I believe. But I do know this, though. This house is expensive to heat in the winter. She ain't had much warmth in her for years.
Ah, Mr. Hatcher. I thought I heard your voice down here.
Just checking in to see if you're all set for the evening, Mr. Bird.
Oh yeah, everything's perfect.
Well, I see you got the lights on all right. If I was you, I'd let the water run for a bit in case you're looking to do any cooking or drinking.
Of course.
And there's plenty of firewood out back in case you get cold.
Thank you, Mr. Hatcher.
You know, I was here all those years ago when they shot that movie, off and on. They was here about 3 weeks, cast and crew. Plenty of wild Hollywood moments took place inside these walls after the day's filming was done, or so I gather. I even saw that Mr. Dancing when they took him out of here on that stretcher. Not a pretty sight. Poor young fella. Quite talented too, from what I've heard. For me, I'm a farming man. I never cared much for the movies.
I'd love to talk with you about those days, Mr. Hatcher.
Perhaps some other time, Mr. Bird. It's getting on late and I'd like to be gone before it starts to get too dark. I leave before the dark comes. See, this house, it's empty, but it ain't quiet. Well, good luck to y'all.
Wait, Mr. Hatcher, did you light that candle before we arrived today?
What candle?
In the parlor, the candle. It was lit before we got here.
I never lit no candle, miss.
This place is great. Thanks for letting us use your house, Mr. Hatcher.
Wait, your house? I thought you said you were the caretaker.
Well, in a manner of speaking, I am. I own the property, but this house has a life of its own. I look after it, I keep it up, and it leaves me alone. That's the way I like things. You can't own a house like Marlowe House, miss. It's a most peculiar house. You'll see. Well, I'll be checking in on you in the morning after you're all gone. Good night.
Hey, so, where's Ray?
I think she's upstairs. Hey, Barry.
Yeah?
Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
What?
Doing the show, being here.
Don't tell me you're getting spooked, Amber.
I don't get spooked. Just think we're in for something here tonight.
Something bad?
I don't know.
Hey, Amber, if you can give me a good reason why we shouldn't do this, I mean, I'm all ears. But you know what I think? I think it's the atmosphere this place is getting to you. It's probably getting to all of us. I mean, can't you feel it? It's so thick with mystery here.
Who died here?
Dirk Danson, the guy who directed The House Where Evil Was Born.
Here.
Yeah, he slit his throat on the last day of shooting. Yeah, they edited the film based on his notes.
So it was a suicide?
Yeah, he even left a letter.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's funny you should say that.
Oh?
Well, in his letter, he claimed he was compelled to take his own life by voices within the house. In fact, he claimed that Marlowe House wasn't haunted, it was haunting him. And I mean, he was probably just a coked up lunatic. I mean, it was the 80s.
Dirk Danson. Oh, he had his vices all right. Victor Brimstone's the man to speak with about that. But he was a decent guy. He wasn't the best director I ever worked for, but he wasn't the worst.
So what's your opinion, Bear? Do you think foul play was involved?
You've only been here for a few minutes, Birdman.
Nighthawk.
Whatever. I spent weeks here. This house does stuff to you. Dirk wasn't the only person driven to madness here.
Why'd you come back here tonight, Vera?
Because I do have my vices, Princess.
Hey, there you are.
Hey.
You all set up?
Yeah.
Everything all right?
I'm fine. I just needed to splash some water on my face. I've just had a few late nights, that's all.
Are you okay?
I'm sorry I freaked out. I thought I heard...
What did you hear?
It was all in my head.
But what was it?
It wasn't even your voice.
What did you hear?
A memory.
Pretty cool, huh? It's a door.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the house where evil was born. I'm your host, Victor Brimstone.
Mr. Brimstone, oh, it's an honor to meet you, sir.
Ah, yes, you must be Barry Bird. I recognize those dulcet tones from our telephone conversations.
It's so surreal to have you here, Mr. Brimstone.
Victor, please.
Victor? I mean, back here where you shot The House Where Evil Was Born? I mean, it's the greatest horror film of all time. It's my favorite movie. I mean, this is a historic reunion.
Indeed it is, Mr. Bird. Why, I was just telling the driver, I'd wager it would be like a time warp walking through the doors of Marlowe House again. But I actually remember arriving here the very first day on set, and Dirk Danson rushing out saying, Victor! He was a very big fan of mine, of course. Yes, he said, Victor, this is going to be our greatest film together, yes. He was a good friend, was dear old Dirk. But those were our glory days, halcyon days. We were so beautiful then. And the movies were much better too. Why, when I look at some of the films that cross my desk today, I shudder with disgust. I mean, zombies, torture porn, there's no subtlety, gore for the sake of gore. Our movies were much better back in the day. The cinema of today has become the theater of the grotesque.
Well, I still love the classics, Mr. Brimstone. There's no comparison.
Ah, if only there were more like you in the studio system, young Mr. Bird, I'd get better parts these days. I'm afraid there's not much work for an actor of a certain age.
Well, let's get you settled in, huh? Let me take that for you.
Indeed, yes. I remember a beautiful canopy bed in the 19th century in one of the rooms upstairs. I wonder if it's still there.
Just make sure to give Victor a room with an extra large mirror, Barry. He does so adore to look at himself.
Ah, Vera. Every bit as lovely and venomous as when we were married all those years ago. You're looking well.
And you? Well, you don't, Victor.
Would you believe, Mr. Bird, those are the kindest words she's spoken to me in nearly 20 years.
Over 20 years.
Kinski was right about you.
You were married to Victor Brimstone?
Long time ago, when I was a young and naive starlet.
Huh. Doesn't seem your type.
My type? Oh, Victor's got charm to spare. He's pure ham, but pure elegance. He was dazzling in those days. Those twinkling eyes and that mesmerizing voice. Make no mistake about it, he was a star. It was very easy for a young Vera Sunset to fall in love with him.
Did he love you?
He did, in his own way. A lover will always be Victor's second love in life.
Who's his first?
Victor. But I don't hate him nearly as much as I like to let him think I do.
So, what happened?
Marlowe House.
The House Where Evil Was Born is a 1987 cult classic which tells a tale of 5 strangers who spend the night together in what's reputed to be a genuine haunted house. The film has become a perennial addition to late-night horror show rosters, inspired countless sequels and rip-offs, none as good as the original, and it's also been my personal favorite film ever since I first saw it on late-night cable at 12 years old. But the film's infamous reputation owes as much to the behind-the-scenes problems which apparently plagued the production as it does to the Tangerine Dream score direct-to-video budget. Problems which culminated in the apparent suicide of the film's director, and I do say apparent, as there have been rumors of supernatural interference having had a hand in Mr. Danson's demise. Tonight marks, almost to the very day, the 25th anniversary of this seminal film, and I am extremely pleased to be bringing you this super special edition of Nighthawk right here at Marlowe House, where the film was shot all those years ago, and a building with a mysterious and sordid history all its own. Joining me on the program tonight is the legendary maestro of horror himself and star of the film, Victor Brimstone.
A pleasure, Mr. Bird.
Also joining us on the program is the still gorgeous blonde bombshell Vera Sunset, whose image in that film was burned into the minds of many a healthy growing adolescent boy.
Darling.
Also joining us on the program will be local medium Amber Montague, who will lead us in a seance right here in the latter part of this program.
This house is active tonight.
That's right. It's going to be a singular night of thrills and chills here on Nighthawk. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for an evening with us here in the house where evil was born. So, first question, Victor, Vera, what's it like coming back here after so many years?
Quite remarkable, almost surreal. Although I must admit that I remember Marlowe House as though I were here yesterday. Yes, it hasn't changed one bit.
Thankfully, neither is Victor.
Now, did you have any sense while you were making the film that it would go on to have the kind of success that it has, with a thriving fan base still to this day?
I knew right away that we were making something different, that this was going to be something special. The moment I first read Dirk Danson's screenplay, he wrote the film for me, of course, yes. I recognized that we were making a classic, yes. It had imagination, the writing was wonderful, it was fun. Very unlike the dreck which crosses my desk these days.
For me, it was just another job. I was reluctant about getting into horror pictures. Didn't want to find myself typecast as a scream queen.
And would you say that you have, or that you have enjoyed a diverse career?
Diverse is such a diplomatic word, Barry.
So what is it about the film that holds up to this very day?
It's the thrill of the horror, huh? Fear is the most primitive emotion. It's what compelled our ancestors to hunt, to create fire, to survive each and every day. All of us are threatened by the chance that our existence in this world might come to a crashing end. Yes, that is the appeal of horror. And there are those of us who've made careers frightening people.
Which could raise the argument as to why people go to see horror films at all. I mean, where's the escapism?
The escapism comes in the knowledge that once the credits have rolled and you've left the theater or you've turned off the television, you can go to bed knowing that you are safe from any threat of the boogeyman coming out of the screen to get you. It's a rush of adrenaline, a controlled 75-minute hit, if you will. It's like taking the roller coaster at a state fair. Heaven forbid, Mr. Bird, horror movies are fun. Well, at least ours were. Although I am told that more people have suffered heart attacks after screening my movies than any other actors in Hollywood.
A dubious distinction. Now, Vera, looking back, are you proud of your work in The House Where Evil Was Born?
Well, I guess I'm in the minority here, Barry. I thought the film was crap.
Oh dear.
Crap?
It was just another run-of-the-mill direct-to-video time wasters. Made on the cheap by an overrated art house director.
Wouldn't you say that's a little harsh?
Obviously, you're one of the few men in this city who hasn't been married to her.
I like Dirk very much, but he wasn't the great director he's been made out to be. I'm flattered by how much all the fans love this film, believe me. And it's charming in its hokiness. But when I stumble across it on cable, I change the channel.
But surely you can admit that there was something different about this particular movie.
Yeah, and we're sitting in it tonight. Marlowe House.
My God, Vera. You do believe this place is haunted?
There are memories here, Victor, which I'm sure all of us would rather forget.
Well, I think that's just about enough for one segment. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm starved.
Sustenance, yes. I'm famished, Mr. Bird. Are we eating in or out?
I've reserved a table at a nice little Italian place not far from here. Is that good with everybody?
Don't let this figure fool you, Barry. I can eat.
Excellent, excellent. Perhaps the Cabernet will wash that bitter taste out of your mouth.
I know you didn't get too much to do in that last bit, but don't worry, we got a whole lot for you lined up soon.
With all the egos in the house tonight, I didn't need to throw mine into the mix.
Yeah. You know, I think you might have a couple more ghosts to deal with before we're done here. Victor and Vera, I think one of them's gonna kill the other.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think there's still some love there somewhere between them.
Are you serious? If that's your radar picking that up, I think you need to go get it checked.
Can't you feel all the energy in the house tonight?
Well, if you mean good audio in the making, then yeah, I can.
I've been in a lot of haunted places before, Barry. There's something different about Marlowe House.
Sounds great.
Well, okay. I think some dinner is just what we need right now. Hey, the night's just beginning, and it's gonna be a special one. Great job, kid.
I need to know what you heard.
No, you don't.
Don't lock this up, Rake. It could be important. There's something going on in this house, and I know you can feel it. It touched you. I need to figure this out.
Why?
I'm not entirely certain it's gonna let us leave if we don't.
Ooh, no one leaves Marlowe House alive. Amber, I've seen the movie, and it really isn't very good.
Let's eat.
You're lurking again, Victor. You always lurk.
I like to keep an eye on my property.
I'm no longer your property.
Honestly, Vera, do you ever think that I will let you leave here?
No.
Who is that? Where are you? I don't understand.
You've become unstable. You can't say a single thing to me without spewing vitriol. This will simply not do.
The sun set on love years ago. All that's left now is your cruel and twisted version of it. You never loved me.
I've loved you as much as any of my wives.
Ah yes, 3 wives, their lives all cut short by unfortunate circumstances.
Don't I know how to pick 'em?
What? But I'm not Dirk Danson. I'm Barry Bird. I'm the Nighthawk. My pocket? What? What do you want from me?
3 wives, all dead. A fire, an overdose, a faulty brake line. 3 very unlucky women.
Ah, but that's where you're wrong, my dearest Vera.
Oh?
You see, it's 3 wives, plus 1.
Oh, I understand now. It's all clear.
Good night, my lethal love.
Oh, yeah, I guess I dozed off there.
Have to admit, the old creepers still got it.
Oh, yeah, that was history in the making just now. You didn't think to,
It's all right here.
Thank you, Rick.
Geek.
So, that was amazing.
Ah, well, it certainly seemed to have the desired effect on you, Mr. Bird.
Oh, yeah. I think this place in general is getting under my skin a little. So, you still remember all those lines?
Yes, etched in the corridors of my mind, like portraits in the scrapbook of my life. Besides, killing Vera is one of the very few joys still afforded to me since we shot that scene. I want to thank you, Mr. Bird, for bringing us all together here tonight. For a moment there, it was as if I was in my prime again. Funny things, these old houses, eh? Perhaps there really are ghosts here.
So, money well spent then? I hear you're picking up the tab for this thing yourself.
Yeah, it's been a great night.
So you loaded then?
Oh, no, I crowdfunded this thing with my listeners.
Oh. So what is it about this goddamn movie anyway? What is it that you guys love about it so much? I'm grateful that the fans like it, but I just don't get it. But that's just me. There are a lot of bad memories associated with it for me. But that thing we just did there, that was fun. So thanks, kiddo.
You know, I hope I look that good when I'm 100 too. Hey Barry, I need some downtime. Do you mind if I go out for a few?
Yeah, she's great, isn't she? Hey! You're not allowed to smoke that shit in here.
I'm not gonna light it in here. You still toke?
house. And voila. No ghost. You're such a geek, Barry. But it's endearing in its own way. Hope you enjoy your souvenir video scrap. What the fuck? Oh, don't go towards the door, stupid. Curiosity killed the cat. Oh, why do you need to know what's on the other side of there? It's not going to do anybody any good. I hate you, Barry Bird. Fuck me.
Nice.
Stuff takes me back. Oh,
Really? You want to do that now?
what? You're afraid the world's gonna find out what a bad girl you are?
You had any listeners, maybe.
Anyway, now's as good a time as any
For what?
to learn about you.
What about me?
You're different from the average bear.
Radioactive goo.
Huh?
That's how I get my superpowers.
Come on, Amber. This is serious journalism here.
Uh-huh.
I believe in you, you know. I never doubted you.
I know. And for that, I'm grateful. Okay. I'll talk.
So you're a psychic.
The real deal. Believe it or don't.
Since you were a kid?
As long as I can remember, yeah.
Like, how aware were you? How old were you when you realized that you had something special that other people didn't?
You mean the kind of gift that gets you ostracized and beaten up in school?
You think that's bad? Try drama club.
I was aware of things at an early age. One of my earliest memories is the frustration of trying to convince my mother that what she thought were imaginary friends were actually real to me.
Friends. So you actually saw ghosts.
You're not gonna quote that movie, are you?
Promise.
Yeah, I see shit.
Are they always friendly?
No, not always. I remember this one lost soul. This old woman, she used to come at night when the rest of the house was asleep. I always tell when she was coming because the room would get colder and everything would get silent. I was terrified of her. She must have lived in the house years earlier. Maybe she died there. I don't know. But she was the one ghost I was ever truly scared of. I remember she would look down at me, all the hatred in the world in her eyes. To me, she was just pure evil. Poor old soul. She must have died a miserable death.
How long did she haunt you?
For months after we moved into that old house.
How did you get her to leave you alone?
My father. He got her to leave.
Your father could see her too.
In a way. He protected me. You know, he taught me how to call in the light. It chases the dark shadows away. My father taught his little girl that she was special and not to be afraid of anything that life threw at me. He taught me to embrace my gifts and understand the dark.
Your father sounds like a good man.
He was.
Was?
Yeah. He died before I was born. How's that for a fucked up childhood?
Pretty pretty fucked up.
All right. You obviously want me to take a look inside this thing. Great. This is where I die now. What's it gonna be? A whole bunch of body parts preserved in jars. Creepy old wedding dress. Or junk. What the hell? I get junk?
Goodbye, Rodeo Drive. Hello, Sally Ann. Who is it?
It's Victor.
What is it, Victor?
I was hoping that we could have a chat away from the others.
Can't come in here, Victor.
Very well. I'll stand out here.
So, talk.
I thought we were supposed to be friends.
We are friends.
You've been throwing daggers at me since I got here this evening.
Well, I'm just not in a great place this week.
Oh yes, I read about your little boy toy and his new friend. It was amicable, I hope?
You know how I found out? He changed his Facebook status.
Oh dear. Well, he was rather young. Pretty.
Well, he had all the personality and the smarts of a paper cup. But now I have to find a new place.
Ah yes, his condo. Where are you staying?
Some scuzzy motel near the airport.
Christ, Vera, you should have called me.
I'm fine, Victor.
You're bloody well not.
Listen, I'm not your responsibility anymore, so don't get your panties in a bind. I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be fine. So how are you?
Oh, I'm all right. Thanks to the fanboys. The convention circuit has been keeping me afloat.
Well, at least you have that. What are you doing here, Victor?
Same thing as you. Money, a chance to reconcile with the past.
It's not what I mean. Why are you here with me?
Because I still care, Vera. Is that so heinous a crime?
Do you know how long it took me to heal, Victor? To get over you? How many fucking therapy sessions? Wasted relationships? Broken hearts? Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever completely healed.
You have every right to hate me.
I know I do. So why can't I, Victor?
Hello there. So you finally decided to show yourself. What's your name? Hi, Campbell. I'm Amber. What's wrong, Campbell? Why are you crying? Are you scared, Campbell? Don't go. Come back. Campbell! Campbell! What happened to you? I can still feel you here.
Motherload.
Amber, was that you just now? What happened up there?
I'm fine.
Hey, are you all right?
I'd rather not talk about it right now.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'd rather just get done here sooner than later, okay? This is a really bad place.
Yeah, I'm with Freaky over there. Want to start that seance now?
Okay. Listen up. There's some rules when you conduct a seance. Okay. First off, it's probably not going to be like what you see in the movies, unless we make contact with a really strong spirit. In this house, it's entirely possible. It's also possible that nothing's going to happen at all. I'm not going to sit here and fake it for you. Secondly, if we do make contact with a spirit, I'm going to go into a trance-like state. It might freak you out a little, but I'm in complete control. So no matter what happens, I'm the only one who can bring myself out of it. So don't try to shake me or slap me or do anything stupid like that. It could only end up endangering me. And thirdly, depending on what might happen here tonight, you might see or hear some pretty scary shit. But don't be afraid. The spirits of the dead can't harm us. Just be careful. You don't want to get led astray. Are we all cool on this?
Let's do this.
Oh, great. Are you rolling?
Oh, yeah, we're good to go.
Okay, everybody. Take hands.
She's going to have us singing Kumbaya in a minute.
Shh, you're an ass.
It's a narrow crossing between life and death. And sometimes those who have passed on are not yet able or ready to cross the thresholds of the hereafter. Sometimes there are ties to this dimension or the life that they once lived.
I thought I saw a ghost once at a black mass in the 90s. It scared me shitless.
But did it see you, Vera?
Sometimes the dead are unaware or just haven't accepted that they have reached the end of their existence in the living. And then there are other spirits who, as in the wretched lives they once lived, are greedy, malevolent, who choose to continue to haunt the places that they once lived, and the people who unknowingly invite them through the cracks between light and shadow. These are dangerous spirits. We must be careful with them, as their sole purpose is to lead us into despair and destruction. My mind and spirit are open, and the dimension between life and death are intercrossed.
So what happens now?
We channel the spirits that are close to us, that want to speak with the living, who have not yet crossed over.
Are there spirits in this house?
There are many shadows here, remnants of this house's troubled past.
Can we speak with one of the ghosts?
You will, before this night is through.
I wonder what it's like to be dead.
Let's hope the answer to that question is not forthcoming.
Don't let her get to you, Vera. Although she does put on a bloody good show.
There's a spirit in the room right now. Someone who has some unfinished business with you, Victor.
With me?
He's tall, very handsome. His eyes are intense, very dark, very deep, very troubled.
Too easy. That could be anyone.
This is someone who's close to you. Much closer. It's a closeness that tore him apart.
I'm sorry.
He wants you to know that it's not your fault. He feels you have blamed yourself for a very long time. He didn't kill himself because of you. He did it for someone else.
I'm sorry, I'm not feeling quite myself.
Victor?
I think we should continue. There's another visitor in this room. He's just stepped in and he seems very insistent on... This is a very strong presence. And also one that is known to someone in this room.
Who is it?
Someone that is trapped between two places. A place of comfort. And the other, a place where he died.
Is this the same thing that possessed Dirk Danson? That caused him to kill himself?
No, Dirk was not possessed. Those were shadows within Dirk himself. But this other specter, a boy, his presence is real, as is the threat. This is a very angry spirit. He's been with you a long time, Rake.
The little boy in the closet.
What?
Ever since I was a little girl, my mother didn't believe me. She thought I had made up an imaginary friend, but imaginary friends aren't supposed to scare you. We lived in this old house for a few months after my father took off, up in the Heights. Upstairs, just outside my room, was a hall closet. You know, one of the walk-in types? Sometimes, at night, when the house was asleep, I thought I heard noises coming from inside that closet.
What kind of noises?
Knocking scratching on the walls, whispering. But I was the only one who could ever hear it. Mice in the walls, my mother said. But it wasn't mice. One night I woke up from the noises in the closet. Go figure, huh? I was a brave little kid. I got up, crept into the hallway because I was going to get to the bottom of it once and for all. But what I saw on the other side of that door, my mother didn't believe me. No one did. And still the sounds would continue. A little boy in the closet, crying, scratching to get out. I would lay awake at night, just frozen with fear, until the noises would stop, but sometimes they wouldn't. I started to suffer at school, became a troubled child. They sent me to a shrink, but nothing helped. You see, he wasn't just up here. He was real. I buried it, tried to buy into the whole psychological thing. But I always knew the truth. Sending me away to live with my grandparents was the best thing my mother ever did for me. It didn't follow whatever it was, a ghost, or a shadow, or whatever it is you want to call it. It was confined to that closet.
So you never saw him again?
Not until today. Here he is now. Campbell Jackson. The creature that haunted my childhood. The little boy in the closet.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, it's got to be a coincidence. I mean,
Are you going to start doubting me now?
a countywide search is underway for a local area boy. Campbell Jackson, 10, of Castlebrook, was last seen by schoolmates on Tuesday afternoon. He has not been seen since. Says that while abduction has not been ruled out, it's more than likely the child may have wandered and found himself lost. The child's being described as 3 feet in height, blue sweater. Anyone with information is urged to contact police immediately.
God, he was so little.
It's him. I couldn't be more certain. He's been reaching out to me ever since I got here.
Do you think he died here?
Help. Please, help.
What the fuck?
Amber? Hey, are you alright?
Careful.
It's dark. It's dark and I'm scared.
Where? Where is it dark and scary?
The closet. I died alone and scared in that closet.
was a long time ago.
Victor,
Oh, hello.
what are you doing up here all alone?
Getting all melancholic, I suppose. There are so many memories in this house, Vera. I hate to admit it, but I think the best years of my life came to an end in this house over 20 years ago. And what's worst of all is that you were right.
Oh?
It's not a very good movie after all, now is it? No, but I was a king then. The top of my game. I never found that again.
Well, at least you can still get work. And I think you've aged very well.
It certainly cost enough, huh? Nips and tucks and all. I'm so sorry, Vera. I'm so sorry for putting you through all that hell all those years ago. I should have been upfront with you and honest.
Well, you had an image to maintain. It's an ugly business. We've both seen that now.
But I'm so sorry about the way you found out. You know, Dirk and I.
Yeah. I tried to forgive. I tried to understand. I tried to play the part of a good wife. But in the end, I just gave in to my anger. But it's not there anymore.
It's not that I never loved you. I did. I still have so much love in my heart for you. There's still so much there.
I know, silly old spook. Me too.
That's where they found him. Up there. I'd already left to film that vampire flick in Chile, and you'd gone back to the house to pack up. I'm grateful that I wasn't here when they found him.
I know you cared very much for him.
I loved him. But I also knew that if word of our relationship ever got out, it would be the ruin of my career. My fucking career.
What is it that you're not telling me?
I closed the door 2 days before he killed himself.
And you blame yourself somehow.
He'd become unstable. He confided to me that he was convinced he was dreaming of a ghost. A young boy. He thought that this ghost was reaching out to him for help. Now I chalked it up to exhaustion, overworking himself too many hours on this film. I was concerned that he might slip up and let the cat out of the bag. He was desperate, Vera. He asked for my help, but I panicked. I walked away when what I should have done was to get him away, far away from this house, this hellhole. And now I wonder if he's trapped here now too. I'm glad I came.
Let's get you home now, Victor.
Yes. Yes. Well, goodbye, Mr. Bird. Thank you for the opportunity. Good luck with your show.
Thank you.
Yes. Goodbye, Marlowe House. Goodbye, Dirk.
Is he gonna be okay? Yeah, I think so. Now. Laid a demon to rest, I think.
Shit's pretty freaky the first couple times you experience it.
Yeah, well, I hope I'm done with it now, thanks.
Keep in touch, all right?
Sure thing. Morticia.
Bitch. Hey, Barry, give me a call next week, okay?
Will do. Get home safe. Check's in the mail.
Uh-huh.
So, you folks all done in there now?
Oh, yeah. We're definitely done with this place.
Got your show all recorded then?
Yeah, but I don't know how much of it we're going to be able to use.
Is that so?
Some really freaky shit happened in there, if you believe that.
Nothing got damaged, I hope.
Oh, no, Mr. Hatcher. Everything's just fine. You can give me back that damage deposit once you've satisfied yourself.
Never was so keen on the idea of them Hollywood people staying here all those years ago.
Then why did you?
Oh, this house has been in my family for more than 70 years. Money was tight, and the studio, well, they paid well for the use of it.
Fair enough.
But I think it might be time to sell the old place. I mean, I'm not getting any younger, and frankly, I just can't bear to look at it anymore. I'll let you have it for cheap if you're interested.
Oh, no thanks, Mr. Hatcher. I'm not in the market.
Barry move and give up his parents' basement? Yeah, right.
Nice. Well, anyway, Mr. Hatcher, what's the quickest way out of here?
Well, I hear there's some trouble out on the old highway, so if I was you, I'd take this road down this way, and then,
Hey, Rake. Yo, Rake!
What?
Space Cadets! You ready to go?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Is anybody up there? You're all supposed to be gone. What the hell?
This is it. Looks just like it did in the 90s.
So this is where it happened, huh?
Uh-huh. My 6 months of hell. This is where Camel lived, too. Summer of 1979. And he was abducted. Go Google.
That's just insane.
Yep, but it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, he was trapped in between two worlds. The one where he lived, and the one where he died. Just like Amber said. Poor, poor thing.
I just hope there's closure to this story for everyone involved, living and otherwise.
Me too.
But Hatcher.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
The house where evil was born claims its final victim. It was weird how they found him.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to go inside, see if anybody's home?
No, not at all. I need to be done with all this stuff now. I'm so over freaky shit.
Well, so much for the girl who never believed in ghosts, huh?
Yeah, and so much for the guy who liked horror movies more than he liked girls. Let's go, Barry.